As for the Liberals, one more candidate is in, another is definitely out of the leadership race after scooping his own big news by putting it on Facebook last night. Mike de Jong confirming today what we already knew, that he is making his bid for the Premier's office official. But it is who has bowed out of the race that was making more waves today. Our legislature reporter Shachi Kurl has details.
With your help, I'd like to be the next leader of the BC Liberal Party and the next Premier of British Columbia.
And with that, now former Attorney General Mike de Jong ought to have secured his place as the big Liberal story of the day. But two things got in the way. The first, his own campaign, which gave up the big news on Facebook yesterday, and this stunner from presumptive candidate Rich Coleman.
Yeah, I made a decision a couple days ago, and I advised my people yesterday that I'm not going to seek the leadership.
His heart, he says, is just not in it.
Everything was in place. We're actually going to launch probably tomorrow. And I just had this sort of, I don't think an epiphany would be the right word, but I looked at it and I thought to myself, you know, this isn't in my stomach.
Coleman denies it had anything to do with high-profile Liberal MLAs throwing their support behind other candidates. Kevin Falcon and George Abbott have already secured the backing of at least 20 MLAs. And Coleman is not saying who he'll throw his support to.
We can do it. Thank you very much.
Now back to de Jong, who didn't have any MLAs at his side when he launched his campaign in Abbotsford this morning. De Jong, now the fourth candidate to enter the race, says there's a reason for that. He claims he's looking to re-engage voters who have turned off and tuned out politics. On the HST, he echoes his rivals, move the referendum date up, and he'd shut down the HST information office.
I wouldn't keep the office. I think the information is out there. I think the more the government continues to try and tell people why they should support the HST, people are saying no.
But like all candidates, de Jong brings baggage too. He's been with Gordon Campbell in the legislature for 17 years. And just 6 weeks ago, he signed off on the plea bargain in the BC rail deal, one that saw Bob Verk and Dave Bassey plead guilty while the taxpayer picked up their $6 million legal bill.
If the harshest criticism I face through the weeks and months of this campaign is that I refused to interfere politically in an independent prosecution process, then I'll accept that criticism.
So, de Jong makes it a foursome. Coleman is out. But is former Deputy Premier and current talk show host Christy Clark really in? Her camp says look for an announcement next week. In Victoria, Shachi Kurl, A News.